February 24th, 2022 awards meeting to order. We have a physical quorum represented by Stephen Datz, Laura Dutton, and Hai Vu. We also have Ricky Erickson and Joe Orfano joining us online. The Office of General Counsel is represented by Regina Ross. Budget is represented by Stephen Elmore. Before we begin reviewing today's agenda, I'll note that there isn't anyone physically present for public comment. Haley, did you receive any public comment via email?
No comment.
Thank you. Let the record show we did not receive any public comment. I'll pause for a moment for callers joining us online to unmute and speak up. Hearing no comments, we'll proceed with today's regular agenda. On today's agenda, we have items 1 through 7 that have been reviewed by Procurement and Budget. These items are now ready to be reviewed by the Awards Committee. Beginning with item 1, representing the minutes from the February 17th, 2022 Awards Committee meeting. Are there any comments or corrections to be discussed? May I get a motion to approve award item 1, representing the minutes from the February 17th, 2022 Awards Committee meeting?
Laura Dutton, so moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, we're off to a great start. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes are approved as presented, and just for our record, we had a motion from Laura Dutton and a second from Hai Vu. I'll pass it over to Jenny McCollum, our Chief Procurement Officer, to walk us through each of the remaining items before I ask for a motion, beginning with item 2.
Thank you, through the chair. Before I start, do I see we have a special guest in the room? It's hard to tell, but I think Mr. Stowe has joined us.
I tried to sit in the corner, but yeah.
You're a direct shot. It is. Okay, so award number 2 is an invitation for bid. This is for our Cisco network equipment for the new JEA headquarters. Presidio Network Solutions LLC is a recommended awardee in the amount of $1,352,199.97. This is a one-time purchase with a 5-year maintenance package. We received 1 bid from Presidio. JEA received no bid response reasons from 3 other companies, which included not being able to provide as deep of a discount as the other resellers, just not prioritizing enough time for the bid, and also not being a Cisco Gold partner, which is a requirement. I'll note that Presidio is typically able to provide the highest reseller Cisco discounts to JEA, and Cisco Network is a standard for the IT group. This request is, again, for the network equipment and for 5-year maintenance, which includes all corporate routers and switches required to outfit the wired and wireless connectivity at the new JEA headquarters building. This includes discounts ranging from about 28 to 58% off Cisco listing price. So I will pause and ask the committee if you guys have any questions or comments.
Hey, good morning. This is Hai. I do have just a quick question. The bid duration was pretty short, and one of the reasons that we didn't get any bid or no bid was that they didn't have enough time to prioritize the bids. Do we have any concerns with that?
No, the Presidio, and Jenny, you can have somebody speak to it if you prefer, but they traditionally have the lowest discount offers. So that's what we've seen historically for several years.
Yeah, I figured that would be the overriding reason, but just wanted to provide an opportunity for the bidder, the other bidder, if they didn't have enough time, if that was a concern to them or to us.
Yes, we are also on a very tight time schedule. The lead times have moved from about 30 to 60 days to 6 months on this equipment. So we need to get it, and we needed to turn that around pretty quickly. Our contract for our regular Cisco equipment expired, and we're in the process of looking at that. So this is why this is a separate rebid from an overall larger contract. And Nathan, I think Nathan is on. If you want to add anything or if I misstated anything, please jump in. All right. Are there any other questions or comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 2?
Orfano, so approved.
Hyvu, second.
All right. We'll give it to you, Joe. We have a motion from Joe Orfano, a second from Hyvu. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 3.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 3 is an invitation to negotiate. This is for our Microsoft Enterprise Agreement, so our licensing and our maintenance. This covers all of JEA's Microsoft products. I won't list them all. There are quite a few. Software House International, Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $6,855,088.38. This is a 3-year award with 2 one-year optional renewals. We've only received 1 bid on this one as well. Really knocking it out of the park with the IT ones. And JEA's did receive some bid responses from 2 of the other companies, including not being able to provide the deepest discount as other resellers. And then I'll make a note that SHI is JEA's incumbent provider and is typically able to provide the highest discounts to JEA. We did request a best and final offer. This was an invitation to negotiate. There were some clarifications that came about through those discussions. So typically you won't see that price go up, but during the clarification meetings, we did a couple of things. One, we increased the number of license, which made the cost go up. So we went from 2,350 to about 3,000 licenses. And then we also discovered that they had not priced some new G5 options, which we had detailed in the technical specification. So this is a great example of how the invitation to negotiate does give us some flexibility and those clarifications to make sure that we're getting exactly what we want when we have those conversations. There's quite a long write-up on this. I won't go through all of it. I will just note that the purchase of the G5 suite versus our G3 option, we are going to see an increase of about $273,000 total over the 3 years. And it offers, I'll give you just a few things that it offers. It allows for better bundling of tools, improving our position on security and compliance in the security suite. The G5 includes the critical tools to ensure JEA's environment for information protection and compliance, including Microsoft Cloud App Security, Office 365, et cetera. So we see that. And then the G3 level is limited to a subset of the tools that we would have to purchase individually to address all of JEA's requirements. We are receiving a 7% discount off of Microsoft list prices. And I'll note that typically we have in the past piggybacked off the state of Florida, and their contract expired. So before they decided to do a rebid, it was time for us to make a decision. So we went ahead and rebid that on our own. The state of Florida then followed quickly behind. But when we looked at their piggyback options, they no longer include individual SKUs comparable line item pricing. So it would have been hard for us to piggyback. So we're glad that we had gone out to bid and not waited for that. I'll note that we also, through a separate small informal bid, we engaged in a third party called Clear Edge Partners for about $30,000 to assist JEA with the selection of the proper SKU identification, pricing negotiations, and the state of Florida contract comparison and analysis. ClearEdge successfully helped JEA navigate those complex contract options and identified approximately 35,000 in unneeded SKUs annually for a total savings of 105,000. So I will pause there and ask the committee if you guys have any questions or comments, or if the business would like to add any additional information.
Steven, is this going to make it where we can sync Office 365?
Yes.
Motion. Okay.
This is high. I'm missing something, or maybe we need to clarify. So we're more than doubling the price from the BAFO to the original price due to number of licenses. Understand that, but I see that with the G5 options, we're seeing a total cost increase of $273,000, but we're seeing over $3 million.
That's just a comparison between the G3 and the G5. There's multiple suites of products that you can select from.
Okay.
And the G3 is one of those option categories. So when they compared the features and functions between the G3 and the G5, that was the difference. So the G5, think of that as kind of a bigger bundle of products and features. And so when we looked at the requirements and what the benefits were of going to the G5, the $273,000 didn't justify us moving to the G3 in lieu of the G5. So it's more of just the analysis that occurred, not necessarily what rolled up into the price.
Okay, thank you. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Any other questions?
Sorry.
I'll pass it back to you for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 3?
Laura Dutton.
And a second?
High Vu, second.
All right, we have a motion from Laura Dutton, a second from Hai Vu. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 4.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 4 is a contract increase. This is for our innovative wastewater collection and treatment solution, or grouping of solutions to efficiently and cost effectively provide the wastewater collection and treatment to those areas of JEA service territory where utility services are currently not available or where septic tanks are in use. Hazen & Sawyer is our recommended awardee in the amount of $5,593,024. The project is expected to be completed in September of 2027. And this award request is to increase the contract amount for the final 2 phases. So we've already performed phase 1 and 2. This would be 3 and 4. The 2 phases are the pilot program and the public education program. So both of these phases were included in the original scope of work, were not originally included in the award because JEA wanted to study the results from phase 1 and 2 first. And those were industry best practice study and conceptual master plan. A little information on the pilot. So JEA is using the Riverview as the pilot test project to develop a master plan for the septic tank phase out projects throughout our service area, which includes the creation of a vacuum sewer collection system. And then while JEA will remain in control and manage the public outreach for the septic tank phase out program, Hazen & Sawyer will assist the JEA outreach staff to with technical knowledge and assistance at community meetings and help answer public questions about our septic tank phase out program. The hourly rates that were developed at the original award will increase by our CPI, and we may and could be and may be allowed to increase annually if requested by the vendor. I'll pause there and ask the committee if you have any questions or comments.
This is, hi, I just want to clarify that the vacuum sewers hasn't been 100% decided for the Riverview area yet. We'll make that final decision once we get the engineer on board and really do a detailed analysis of the area. Regardless, the vacuum sewer system has been determined to be the best option going forward for future septic tank phase-out projects. So sooner or later, we will have to develop a vacuum sewer system. So part of the scope here is to help us develop the standards for that. So whether it's for Riverview or future areas, we will need that assistance. But I just want to make clear that it hasn't been definitely decided yet for Riverview area.
Thank you. Hi, I appreciate that extra information. Any other comments, questions? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 4?
I can do it.
All right.
So
Have second.
Thank you. We have a motion from Laura Dutton, a second from Hai Vu. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? The motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 5.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 5 is a contract increase. This is for our general engineering services for transmission and substation projects. So this supplements our staff, our JEA in-house engineering resources that may not meet the urgent demands of in-service dates. So this will supplement and have supplemented the electric side. From an engineering perspective, Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $696,462. Instead of explaining kind of the history of this award, we've made a table to show you kind of how it has flowed up and down through the term of the contract. So this will be we're in our 5th year, and we have utilized both of our renewal options. So you can see there's 3 different vendors that we contract with, and we have come back to the committee a few different times as projects are added or included from a fiscal year perspective. So this award at this time should be our last award for the awards committee. We are rebidding this currently, but this request is for just the Stantec increase, and this should get us through the contract term. And as I noted, JEA's capital project funding for continuing services typically are funded 1 or 2 years at a time. So you'll see these come through our continuing services multiple times, typically through the term of the contract. The rates are fixed for the term, and the other 2 contracts, Worley Parsons and Fred Wilson, currently have enough funds to get us through the current term. So I'll pause and ask the committee for questions or comments.
This is Hai once more. So my question is, Stantec was the 3rd ranked firm from the original award. Is there any concern now that they will get essentially more work than the 2nd ranked firm?
It's a great question. No, so typically what we would do, and Rodney can jump in, or the business, they each have their own unique skill sets. And so they try to gear the work towards unique skill sets, which is why we have multiple vendors for them to choose from. So where one might specialize in something, they can gear that work towards them. So part of this is just, spreading the work out between all of them. I don't see any major issues with them doing it this way. And when we originally awarded it, you can kind of get a feel for their skill set. So we based our award amount, we tiered it down, but there isn't really an issue in how we flow that work. Do you want to add anything, Rodney, or from the business?
No, yeah, and that's kind of the same thing with a lot of our continuing service type contracts. You know, we do work to balance the workload as much as possible, and you know, in consideration of where the award ranking was at when it was initially processed, it doesn't necessarily mean that their rates are the highest or the lowest either, since it was a CCNA RFP. It's just where they ended up ranking wise as far as the number of companies that we selected to award. So, you know, the short answer is yes, we try to balance. We haven't had any issues or concerns with it being, you know, 1, 2, or 3 having a little bit more or a little less money as they go through the contract. And if we see something getting, you know, significantly out of balance, then we'll circle back and meet with the business and regroup and figure out, you know, if we can do something different.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.
And any other questions, comments, concerns? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 5?
I will.
Ricky, so moved.
All right.
Mr. Ricky.
No, actually, I'll take a motion from Joe Orfano and a second from Hai Vu.
Oh.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 6.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 6 and award number 7, I'll just make a note before I can go into those. They did not get budget endorsement, and Hai Vu has approved and will endorse on the behalf of budget. So the first one, they're both joint projects, which would be payment to the Florida Department of Transportation. This first one, award number 6, is the request to advance funds to Fdot in accordance with our master agreement. This is for the utility construction costs associated with JTB at Kernan Boulevard, so the utility replacements in that area. It's approximately 700 linear feet of new 16-inch PVC water main, and then the removal of about 700 linear feet of the existing 16-inch PVC water main, completed with the associated fittings and valves. The prepayment is estimated to be $336,307.65. We expect this project to be completed December of 2024. The way this works, the JEA's utility construction work will be included in the Fdot's bid and constructed by the Fdot's contractor via the terms of our master agreement. So by doing so, the roadway restoration costs will be minimized. So we share those costs. Per the term of the master agreement, we prepay these at the estimated value, and after bidding the prepaid amount, if it's less, they will refund us. If it's more, we'll come back to the committee, which you'll see on the next award, and request additional funds based off of the outcome of the competitive process. So I'll pause there and ask.
Hey,
Yes,
Jenny,
sir?
can I ask a question real quick? So what was budget's issue with this?
It's a great question. Stephen, do you want to chime in?
Sure. It basically comes down to a timing issue because the FY23 budget meetings are starting today. We've been busy getting the reports and everything ready and signed off on. So it's just a timing issue because we got this approved late yesterday. So if it had been deferred out a week, I'm pretty sure there wouldn't have been an issue. So that's all.
It was a short
Stephen,
week.
Stephen,
So
it's
just
Joe
to,
Orfano.
go ahead, Joe.
I'm sorry, Ted.
No,
So
you go
Stephen-
first, Joe.
Thank you, Ted. Stephen, so capital budget planning doesn't have an issue with these two awards. It's just the timing of review. You didn't have the time to review the package and sign off. Is that correct?
Well, so there were trends submitted, so there's work to be done by the business to get everything aligned. So we didn't have time to review those trends. That's the holdup. But I'm sure by next week, everything would have been okay.
And so
Okay.
sorry,
So
Ted,
we
go
can
ahead.
have this conversation offline, but and I'm gonna do whatever we need to do with this one. But if we just need to make sure the timing works right, so people can do whatever they need to do.
Agree. I think that with the holiday as well, I know these were added to the folder on Friday before the holiday, but everybody lost a day on Monday, so that does take its toll.
Sorry, one final quick. So was it imperative that these awards go today, or could they have been deferred another week to allow budget review?
Michael, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, so
we just found out this morning, so we just kind of reacted this morning. They were already on the agenda and ready to go and had approval from the business side. So we certainly can defer if you guys are more comfortable, but I'll let Michael jump in and see if he has any need to push these out quicker.
Yeah, so this is part of an agreement with the DOT. One of the only reasons they can kick us off and out of the project and not do the project with us is because we don't give them money by the time they request it. This one had nothing to do with a trend. This one already was approved as a capital budget line item. The following one was the one that had an issue with the trend, but we had on the following one a prepayment, and we had already done that. So that the next one is a post-bid payment to them. This one is a pre-bid payment and already had a capital number to it. So I think we're getting the two of them confused. This one was already had budget to it of $400 and some thousand. But we need to get them the money, because then I do the wire transfer to them and get them the funds next week. And that way we stay in good graces and they don't have the opportunity to kick us out of a project.
So, Michael, the failure to approve today would put us in jeopardy. If we delayed this 1 week, we could be in jeopardy of losing this project. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. They could.
Okay.
They haven't done it in the past, but they can according to the agreement.
I agree with Ted. We could take this offline.
All right, so any other, we can continue that discussion later. Any other questions or comments? All right, I will pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 6?
Hi, so moved.
And a second?
Orfano, second.
We have a motion from Hai Vu, a second from Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion is adopted. I'll pass it over to Jenny to present award item 7.
Thank you. Through the chair, our last award is award number 7. Again, a joint project. This is for the utility construction costs associated with Timaquana Road resurfacing from West Connect Boulevard to US 17. So this is, it has been bid out. As Michael said, it is a little bit different than the last award. So that was a prepayment. This is a reconciliation after post-bid, where the prices came back in higher than what they, the engineer for Fdot had estimated JEA pay. So this will reconcile the difference for our portion. And if you look at, kind of deep into the background, one of the last paragraphs, it breaks out how much more from a water portion, which is about 643,000, and then the sewer portion came in about 880,000 more. And so the prepayment or the reconciliation payment to Fdot would be in the amount of $1,524,977.33. Do we have any questions or comments on this one?
So, Michael, this is Hyde. Did our team look at the cost of this project versus our recent bids from other projects, and were they aligned?
That's correct. We had the cost folks look at this, and these are in line with the costs that we're seeing.
And how critical is the timeline for the approval of this project as far as the awards committee?
Yeah, so again, this one is now post-bid, so the DOT can't award the contract until we do ours here. And again, that has some timeline to it that we are approaching.
So they can't award unless JEA pays our full portion ahead of time.
That's correct.
And the risk
this
of, and they can still cancel our portion if we don't pay them in a timely manner. Is that what
yes,
the
they can.
consequence is?
That's right.
Michael, this is Stephen. One of the things I noticed between award 6 and 7 is that begin date. We have a March 1st date on award 6, whereas this one has the March 25th. So is there an opportunity to push this back a week, or do you feel strongly that we need to approve it today?
So need to approve it today. Again, I think that begin date, I think that is a construction start date. That is an award date for the DOT. That is not our hard and fast date. I want to scroll down a little bit here to the actual work order letter from the DOT. It will tell you what date they wanted the money by.
February 25th.
February 25th.
Tomorrow.
Any other thoughts, comments? Okay, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item 7?
I move, so moved.
And a second?
I think Ricky's trying to. If he doesn't, I'll do it.
Thank you. We have a motion from Hai Vu, a second from Ricky Erickson. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion is adopted. Award item 7 is the final award item for today. The entire agenda representing items 1 through 7 are approved for February 24th, 2022. Is there any other business to come before the awards committee at this time? Okay, seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.